What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into some more Vigets picks here. Nick and Mitch here to help you guys and give you some more winning picks here for this weekend's wild card super weekend in the NFL. We already broke down Saturday's games. Let's head into Sunday's games now. First one up, Mitch. This one might be the game of all the playoffs. Two teams that are very familiar with each other, despite not being in the same division. They've played each other numerous times, obviously most notably last year in the playoffs where the Titans pulled off the upset against the Ravens. Now it's reversed here. Ravens going into Nashville to take on the Titans. Titans come in at +3, the total set at 54.5. Are we going to see a repeat of last year's playoffs with the Titans advancing over the Ravens? What do you think?
I'm not sure. Lamar's been hot. We got MVP Lamar back. These teams do not like each other. Remember earlier in the year, they were, I think it was the Titans bouncing around, it's celebrating on the Ravens logo. These teams do not like each other. It's going to be a bloodbath. This is going to probably one of the best games of the entire weekend. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, Lamar, he's back. J.K. Dobbins finding he's hitting his stride. I think it's going to be a very, very good game. I'm going to go with I'm not going to give you my pick yet. I want to hear what you got to say
All
first.
right, all right, I like that. Well, a lot of the things you said, I like what you said because I'm actually going to take the Ravens -3 here. I like getting it just at a field goal. And I feel like people are really afraid to take this line because of, oh, Lamar can't come from behind. If they're down, 3 to 7 points, even 10 points, the Ravens are screwed. They're not going to be able to come back. But people need to realize how bad this Titans defense is this year, and I simply cannot back them. I kind of like the over here as well, but my official pick here is me Ravens -3. I alluded to the defenses. Ravens second in points allowed, sixth against the pass, eighth against the rush. When you look at the Titans, absolutely backwards here. 28th in yards allowed, 29th against the pass, 19th against the rush, 25th in yards per play. And the final stat here that I like the most, 32nd last in the NFL in sack percentage. So if Lamar's pressured at all in this game, he's going to have so much time to throw. The Ravens offensive line has been really good this year when healthy. So I like the Ravens in this one. I think that I'm pretty confident here in the Ravens. I just can't back the Titans defense. And as you alluded to already with Lamar Jackson, he's back in his MVP form. J.K. Dobbins looks like an absolute stud out of Ohio State. So as you said, one of the hottest teams as well, 6-0 against the spread in their last six. Give me the Ravens in this one.
I think you convinced me a little bit. I mean, I just don't trust in Tannehill being able to win a game with strictly his arm. I mean, he relies so much on Derrick Henry and that play action, and the Ravens defense knows, hey, this team rides on Derrick Henry. If Derrick Henry's shut out, then they can't do anything. And I think that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to shut down him, and they're going to force Tannehill to be able to throw the ball to Corey Davis and AJ Brown. But yet the Ravens have Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Peters to lock them up. I just don't see Tannehill and them scoring that many points. So I'm going to take the Ravens with you, but I'm actually going to go under with that 54.5. I think that's a little bit too high.
Yeah, I kind of think that number is kind of set at the right spot there. I could see going either over or under, but you brought up some good points here, especially with the Ravens secondary, how strong they've been this year. You got to remember, you said it, Marlon Humphrey, Marcus Peters, Patrick Queen looks like a phenomenal pick out of the draft there in the linebacking core. And I just feel like the Ravens are hitting on all cylinders right now. Derrick Henry will probably still run for, upwards of 115, 125 yards in this game. But I feel like the Ravens finally know the recipe to get the job done and take down the Titans in this one.
Yep, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go 31-20, my final score. Just under that over under, but I think the Ravens will pull away at the end. If not, I think the Titans will have like a crazy drive at the end of the game like they did against the Texans.
Also important to note that the Titans have struggled kind of putting away those bad teams, and the Ravens, on the other hand, have been beating the brakes off, some of those poor teams in the NFL. They beat up on the Jags, they beat up on the Giants, and they beat up on the Bengals last week. Ravens 7-2 against the spread in their last 9 playoff games. On the other side for the Titans, only 0-3-1 in their last 4 playoff games, and the road team's also 3-0-1 against the spread in their last 4 meetings. So as you said, we were all in the Ravens here. I'm going to go a little bit closer of a game. I could see it being close at half, but then the Ravens and Lamar pulling away in the second half. I'll go final score 31-26 to just get over that total here. Let's move on to our second game here now. Biggest spread of the weekend we see as the New Orleans Saints will host the Bears in the Superdome. Everyone kind of writing off the Bears already in this one. Saints coming at -10 with a total set at 47. Mitch, what do you like in this game?
I think that spread. I mean, a 10-point spread. It's a lot, but yes, I'll say yes. The Bears have been hot recently. They're finding their stride a little bit. MVP Mitch, he's coming.
Mhm.
He came back in using his legs a lot, but this Saints defense is unreal. Demario Davis, Cameron Jordan, Marshawn Lattimore, Malcolm Jenkins, they're legit. And I don't see the Bears offense being able to score any points if and barely any points in this game. And it's been rumored, and I think it's more of a rumor. This is Drew Brees last year.
Yeah.
He wants to go out on top. His whole team knows that they're going to be playing for him, and I think that motivation, I think that's going to help the Saints throughout these playoffs.
Yeah, when I look at this number, I think it's kind of honestly right on the head. 9.5, 10. I could see it easily being a 10-point game here. And if you recall, the Saints aren't too good covering the spread at home in the playoffs. Last year, they actually lost outright to the Vikings a couple years ago. Obviously, the no call on the pass interference against the Rams where they lost that game. But then again, there's no way I'm backing the Bears in this one. So I'm actually going to put the total here. I'm going to go under 47, which I know could be a little bit scary considering the Saints offense has looked really good this year. If Michael Thomas looks like he's going to come back, Alvin Kamara is still on the COVID list, but if he comes back, either or if he's there or not, I still like the under. Bears offense bottom 10 in almost all major statistical categories, 31st and third down conversions per game, and you hit the nail on the head there with the Saints defense, top 5 in almost all big defensive categories here. They've really stepped it up in the secondary, on the D line and the linebackers as well. When we look at the Saints, they're going to be a ground and pound type team here. I feel like in this game, they don't want to, overuse Drew Brees too much in this one, kind of keep him safe here on his energy and move him into the next game. So I think that the Bears offense is back to normal too. They had a couple 30-point games here and there to round out the season, but only 15 or 16 last week against the Packers. So I think the under is a play here that I like. I know it could get a little scary because, the Saints defense could explode at any moment. Alvin Kamara could run for 6 touchdowns, but I like the under in this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's when playing down in NOLA, it's different down there. I mean, Sean Payton, I don't know if you saw the highlights from last week's game. He wants to help these players out. Emmanuel Sanders needed 8 receptions to get his big bonus, and Sean Payton was all about it. He wanted to help his players out, and that can bring a team together, knowing that hey, our coach is here for us. So I think it's going to be a blowout. I'm going to go with you with that under again. It's going to be a blowout, like I said, 31-10.
31-10, similar to what you gave out for Washington versus the Buccaneers. I like it. Unders 12-5 in the Bears' last 17 games as a road dog. The unders also 5-2 in the last 7 Saint playoff games. So I think the numbers kind of right here. I kind of lean towards the Saints as well. I can't really trust the Bears, especially in the playoffs with Mitch Trubisky. But I'm gonna go final score prediction 27-17 Saints. So it kind of stays on the number there, but I think it stays under nonetheless. Let's head over to our final game now of the weekend. Lots of news to talk about in this one. Obviously, the Browns heading into Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Line opened up at about, I think, Steelers -4, swung all the way to Steelers -6 now, obviously, with the COVID issues coming out of the Browns camp. Kevin Stefanski, their head coach, will not be coaching for this game. He will not be able to attend due to protocols. They're also missing a bunch of players. Denzel Ward, I believe, is still on the COVID list. Olivier Vernon just got hurt in practice. It looks like he's going to be out of that game. This one's kind of tough, Mitch. What do you like in this one?
Going off the COVID list, they're going to be without their one lineman, Joel Bitonio. I think that's how you pronounce it. Stefanski, without him being there, that's huge. He's been a vital part in the Baker Mayfield having such a better year than he did last year. Another year in that offense. But I think if Browns had everybody, I would go with the upset here. The Browns covering the spread and even winning. But with all those guys out, I think it's going to be tough. I mean, the only way. I mean, they played each other last week, but yes, the Steelers weren't playing a lot of people, and yes, the Browns were missing also a lot of people. But I just think I want to say the Browns win this game. I want Chubb and Hunt to have a huge game. It's going to be on their shoulders, but I want the Browns to win, but I don't know if I can yet.
You look at the Steelers. -6 here. It's kind of a big number. As you said, you alluded to some good things with the Browns that, they still have Nick Chubb. They still have Kareem Hunt. Kind of a tough number here to play. We've seen COVID really hurt some teams, but I'm going to play a total here again. I just went under in the last game for the Bears Saints. I'm actually going to go over 47.5, which you might think at first kind of seems a little bit too big, but I kind of alluded to it earlier. No Denzel Ward, no Olivier Vernon. Browns also 21st in points per play on the defensive end. And the Steelers defense has also been banged up pretty much throughout the back end of the season as well. Since they lost Bud Dupree in week 13, they're giving up 24.8 points per game. Both these offenses are averaging over 25 points per game. So I think this one can hit over. I like Big Ben also getting that rest last week. I think that, that rest definitely helps him a lot. Him being 38 years old now towards the back end of his career. So I think that's going to help that offense out a little bit. And I think this one can go over.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll touch the over under, but I'm definitely going to take the Browns -6. I just the Steelers offense, they've struggled so much this year. They have zero running game. James Conner hasn't been able to give them much. Benny Snell gives them a little juice here and there, but I just don't think like because they're going to have to be balanced and with just like Alex Smith, Big Ben has just been dinking and dunking the entire year. They'll take their shots here and there with Chase Claypool, Deontay Johnson, but I don't think the Steelers can score enough points to completely put the Browns out for the like. I think it's going to be a close back and forth type of game.
Yeah, I think it'll be close as well. And I think that if the Browns defense was at 100%, I think this would definitely swing my opinion a little bit. But as I said, missing some big key pieces here. And the trends love the over on this one. When we look at some of them, overs 4-1 in the Browns' last 5 versus a team with a winning record in the last 16 Steelers playoff games as a favorite. Their overs 12-3-1. So a score as simple as 27-21 Steelers, 28-20 Steelers, either or the Browns that way. I think that's a really feasible score here that can get us just over the total. So that's why I like the over on this one.
Yeah, I with all these people out for the Browns, I don't think I can't see them pulling away, but they'll definitely cover that 6-point spread, 24-20.
And it is really unfortunate too. The first time that obviously the Browns get in the playoffs after their how many years, over 10-year drought. It's been,
Yeah, something.
yeah, that COVID also has to come in and kind of ruin their plans. But nonetheless, you think they definitely still have the talent there. They have the running backs, they have Baker Mayfield, and they still have some big key pieces all around him. So hopefully it still should be a good game here. But let's wrap up our picks now. I'm on Ravens -3, and then I got 2 totals. I'm going under in Bears Saints, and I'm going over 47.5 in the Browns versus Steelers.
I'm with the Ravens. I think I said I'm taking the under and the points with the Saints, and then I'm taking the Browns. I think that COVID's going to give them a chip on their shoulder. They're like, hey, people think we can't do this, but we're the Browns, the dog pound. We're going to do what we need to do.
And that wraps up our wild card week, super wild card weekend, I should say. I got to get used to saying that now with obviously 3 games on Saturday, 3 games on Sunday. Good luck with these picks, guys. Remember to gamble responsibly. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe on our content. We'll be sure to be back next week with our divisional matchups for the week. As always, thanks for watching. This is Nick and Mitch from Viget.
Hey, let us know in the comments who you're riding with. If you're riding with Nick, if you're riding with me, let's see who comes out on top.
Yes, sir. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.